having a fair old party there. See that there? Right guys, here's a little video. I'm going to show you guys what I've been feeding Callie as she's nearly about to have puppies. A few weeks ago she got really bad diarrhea, and that was off her normal diet. It was almost like everything changed, where I had to change up her food to get rid of the diarrhea with her. Now, as you'll know, if you've got a bull mastiff, these are a hypoallergenic breed, so their stomachs are very sensitive, especially when they have things like chicken. So Callie's always been on a James Well-Beloved diet with James Well-Beloved turkey and rice dry food, which has always been really good for Callie, and it was really good for my last bull mastiff before Callie as well. So I'm really pleased with the James Well-Beloved stuff, but as I say, I started giving her some meat to boost up her calorie intake because she went off her food, and I wanted to make sure we were getting food in there for the puppies growing. And the James Well-Beloved meat, what you buy in the tins, really didn't agree with her, completely squitted her out, and I had a nightmare going backwards and forwards trying to find the right food. So just going to do a little video and show you some of the food, what she's on now. She's currently on the raw diet now, but she's also having the James Well-Beloved biscuit mixed in with it. And we also found that if we cook potatoes, we give her nice fresh boiled potatoes as well, that also helps thicken her gut up. So if you've got a bull mastiff, check this out. This might help you if you're going through similar issues with the diet. It's not cheap to feed, but I just thought I'd do a little video and show you what sort of food she's on now before she has the puppies. Once she's had the puppies, because of the puppies will be taking her milk from her, we really need to boost her calorie intake up, so she's going to go on puppy food. But for now, this is what she's on, and then I'll do another video later on in this video showing you what she'll have when she's had the puppies. So at the moment we've managed to find these are little cubes of frozen raw food, currently sold at Pets at Home. So I give her some of these, put them in, and what I do is get a fork and I just basically, let's turn you around so you can see instead of looking at me. That'd be a start, wouldn't it? So can you see that? Yeah, so I've put the cubes of meat in here and I just squash it down like so. It's still a bit not properly defrosted yet, so it might have to be left for a little bit longer. But I squashed them down, and lots of people say it starts to look a bit like tuna when it's all mashed up. Just like this. Yeah, all nice and squashed into a bowl before I add the biscuit. Which it does actually look like tuna, doesn't it, like that? So that is 9 cubes of turkey meat. Then I grab some biscuits. Which this is the turkey and rice James Well-Beloved biscuit still, as it's always a very good base for her, and I just kind of mash it in and mix it round, and you'll notice in a minute how it all starts binding to the biscuit. Takes a little bit of stirring, a little bit of mixing, but it does eventually mix in pretty well. I want all the biscuits with a layer of this raw turkey meat on. You can see Callie sat on the floor just next to me waiting for it because she's hungry. Now I normally do bigger portions than this, but Callie is due her litter of puppies in the next couple of days, so she has slightly gone off her food again and not eating such bigger portions. I think that's because there's not so much space in her gut for all the food, because the puppies are taking up the space. So I'm just giving her a smaller portion here, but I mean, at the moment, I think her calorie intake is around about 2,200 calories a day, which she's having 2,200 calories a day just from the James Well Beloved biscuit. So the meat is extra on top, but she's not overweight at all, so it will do her good having a bit extra at the moment. If the dog was overweight, I wouldn't recommend feeding them more than the daily allowance, but at the moment I want as much energy in Callie as possible. You can see there how it's all started binding more to the biscuit now. The biscuit's getting layers of the meat on it by just moving it around and jiggling it about a bit, which is good. A big clump of meat there, mix that in a bit. So that's what the biscuit looks like with the meat. I've also got in the fridge here's some we made earlier. So here are some potatoes. As you can see, just boiled potatoes. I'm going to put a couple of these in. Some's mashed up, some aren't. Not too much, just a bit, as you can see, about that much in the bowl. So it's still quite a big meal for the dog. And then I'm just going to break this potato up into the food as well and mix it all in. I find if I don't mash the potato up, Callie will come along and eat the potatoes and leave everything else, which I want her to eat it all. So I try to mix it in as much as possible. Now at the moment she's probably eating about 2 of these bowls a day, which I say is a little bit more than her normal calorie intake, but that's fine. Once she's had the puppies and she's finished weaning the puppies, she'll be going back to exercising a lot every day and getting fit basically. So she'll probably go on a bit smaller diet, not quite so over the top, get her to lose some of the excess weight she's put on whilst being pregnant. But I don't think it'd do her any harm at the moment. She's nowhere near overweight, so I'm not worried about her diet at the moment. Just sort of do it to suit your dog, really, guys. You know your dog, you know what they need. It's just sometimes it's really frustrating, especially with the Bull Mastiff kind of breed, trying to find the right sort of food, what agrees with them. And you can spend tons of money, if you're anything like me, on all different types of food, and it just doesn't seem to help them in any way. So that's why I'm doing this video, to show you guys what we give Callie. So it's raw turkey meat from the raw food diet, James Well Beloved turkey and rice biscuit in there with a bit of fresh boiled potato, and this is Bone Builder calcium powder. Now she would only have this while she's whelping the puppies, so she doesn't actually need this constantly in any other time, but because of the puppies will be draining her of all that energy and getting their milk from her, it's good, and let's advise to put her on calcium tablets or calcium powder. We've gone for the calcium powder because of it's what I've seen before, what people use. Now with a big dog like Callie, she should have 3 scoops of this a day and no more. Obviously she hasn't had the puppies just yet, so she probably doesn't need it right just yet, but because of, as I said, she's been going off her food and she's quite low on energy intake, I've started putting this in just yesterday, and she is due the puppies in about 2 days time, so by the time it gets through her system, it's probably only going to bulk her up and do her good when she's ready to feed those puppies. So that's why I've started it now. Again, you know your dog, so you know when you would start it, but it does say on the back of this do not feed to dogs what aren't pregnant without veterinary advice. So you can see the powder's going in there. That's 1 scoop. Do 1.5 scoops because she'll have this for dinner again later as well. So she's having 3 scoops a day. And that is the Bone Builder calcium powder. Just give that a stir in so the powder's not all sitting on the top, so it doesn't dry her mouth out too much when she starts eating it. If you've got children in the house, make sure your children don't interfere with the dog when they're eating. I mean, even if your dog's very good with food and not got any sort of guarding issues over the food, I would still say it's best practice. Keep your children and teach your children to leave dogs alone when they're eating. And that there is Callie's dinner or breakfast. So you can see there's a nice bit of flavour there. The dog eats better than me. I'm just going to put it down here. She's disappeared now. She's fed up with waiting. Do you want your dinner? Come on then. So I'll put it down here. So I'll put Callie's food down there. Obviously raised up as well off the floor because that's always better for bloat. You can see her stood there because she knows the routine. She has to sit there and wait until she's told to come in. So if you want it, let's walk past her and tell her to go in. Go on then, that's all yours. And she'll walk really slow up to it, look. Oh, pregnant mama. Normally she's quite quick to get her food, but since she's been pregnant, she's been very, very slow at a lot of things. Really slowed her down. I think she's finding all that extra weight on her a bit of a struggle. So there she is, she's eating. We'll leave her alone and let her eat in peace. We don't need to annoy her. But yeah, that is Callie's diet at the moment, coming up to pregnancy. And I'll tune back in with another update, probably on the temperature, when we're a bit closer to Callie going into labour. But thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and let's shoot across to the next part of today's video. Alright guys, so we just sat down. It's quite sunny, it's quite hot in here. Melissa's just set the fan up for Callie. She's currently at 62 days. Now, as you would know, it's about 63 days she would normally go into labour. Now, if I turn you around and just show you her, you can see just here she is laid down. And we've just noticed, as she lays there, you can actually see the baby's moving in her belly. So if I get up slowly and don't disturb her, you can see how big and swollen her tummy is now. If I put you guys down here, so obviously as she's breathing you can see her rib cage moving here, but if we focus around about here somewhere, you'll probably see him move in a second. And having a fair old party there. See that there? Not sure if you can pick that up on the camera very well. Good girl. Good girl, well done. Your baby's moving, aren't they? So that will be a different one to the one that was here a minute ago, wouldn't it? So you can see this movement here. This is Callie's lungs going in and out. That's not a puppy here moving here. But anywhere around here, when I wasn't filming, you could see him having a right little rave.
Let's try and wake him up a
on the go here.
Oh, here we go.
There you go. Let's see it moving here.
There. Look.
Not sure if my camera's picking that up, you know. Did you see that little bump there?
Yeah.
So you can see there's multiple puppies in there moving around because she's had some movement here, she's had some movement there, movement there. Now the scan said 5, but there could be more in there. But that's a good sign but we've got movement from the puppies at the moment. See, like I said before, this is just her ribs as she's breathing, moving there. There's a little bit of movement here, that's not ribs.
Okay. It's so weird, isn't it?
Crazy, isn't it, to think that there's loads of little doggies in there moving around. Trying to get some cinematic stuff as we move back. If they're going to move to the... Oh, there's a little kick there.
Yeah. Oh, no one. Oh, look, it's probably sticking out, look.
Good girl, Callie. Good girl. You can see Callie's laid here, just flat out, sort of feeling the heat a bit as well.
Fan on.
Fan's just there, blowing Melissa's bum. But yeah, so there's a little puppy update, guys. 62 days and lots of puppy movement in the gut. I would suggest, do we get the Doppler and try and have a listen for a heartbeat again? Because when we used it before, we couldn't really hear anything, could we?
We could try.
Just noise. But now you can see the movement there. Might be worth putting it on her, just seeing, because we were trying down here, weren't we, before? Now if they're up here, but you can see as well the size of her boobs. Her boobs have got really big. Poor old Callie. Bit uncomfortable, ain't you, Pud? Yeah. So we're expecting the labour to be coming probably in the next, I would say in the next 24 hours, but when we took her temperature this morning, her temperature hadn't dropped at all, so could be tomorrow, could be early hours tomorrow night, don't you reckon?
Yeah.
But very, very soon.
Don't know.
Those puppies look like they're running out of space.
Yes.
And they're wanting to move around. There's another bit of movement there by a back leg. So yeah, puppies on their way. Let's tune back in when we've got more of an update and it's feeding time at the zoo again, I think.